We are coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios, and this is Prime News on SABC 3. Let's take a look at our leading stories this evening.
I am of the view that the decision to disband the PKTT as a task team lay within the exclusive authority of the National Commissioner.
First up, another witness at the Madlanga Commission has testified that Police Minister Senzo Mchunu, who has been placed on leave of absence, was not authorized to disband the political killings task team.
This GNU is going to last.
Proponents of the Government of National Unity are holding out hope to see it complete its full term, but the cracks are re-emerging in the 10-party alliance, threatening its stability.
We are going to end load reduction. In the next 12 months, once we get that cooperation, there are parts of the country where we are confident we'll get that cooperation.
Electricity and Energy Minister Hosien Suramuhupa says government has turned the corner in its efforts to end load shedding. We bring to you the world in motion. The news agenda is unfolding live right here on Prime News on SABC 3. A very warm welcome to you. My name is Becky Mutumomolete, here to navigate you through today's top stories. And here they are. More questions mount for Police Minister Senzo Mchunu and suspended Deputy National Commissioner for Crime Detection, Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibiya, as expert testimony confirms that Mchunu did not have the power to disband the political killings task team, and Sibiya did not have the powers to implement that directive. This as Major General Petronella Margareta van Rooyen, Head of Governance, Legislation and Policy at the Legal Services Division at SAPS, gave evidence before the Madlanga Commission on the legislative framework that governs policing in South Africa.
The Commission of Inquiry, probing allegations of criminality, political interference and corruption in the criminal justice system, has heard expert testimony stating that Police Minister Senzo Mchunu did not have the legal authority to disband the political killings task team.
From a regulatory standpoint and based on the legislative excursus detailed above, I am of the view that the decision to disband the PKTT as a task team lay within the exclusive authority of the National Commissioner, and that the Minister did not have the legislative authority to disband the PKTT, let alone the manner in which he did.
Van Rooyen listed 6 reasons to support her view, including that the legislative framework dictates that a minister cannot prescribe or direct at an operational level how policy is to be implemented. The witness explained that the appropriate path would have been for the minister to express that he no longer considered political killings to be a priority and direct the National Commissioner to consider this and take steps to align it with his directive, not to instruct the disbandment and how it was to be done.
That constitutes not only an usurping of powers of a National Commissioner, but also undermines the constitutional objects of the SABC as set out in Section 205(3), especially in respect of ongoing criminal investigations and the potential risk that further crimes may be committed.
Van Rooyen also testified that Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibiya was not empowered to take actions to give effect to the Minister's directive. This includes removing the 121 dockets from the KZN office to the head office, highlighting the risks behind such action.
It means the investigations are stagnant. Nothing is happening.
The hearings continue with a new witness. Kani Mapanga, SABC News, Pretoria.
Meanwhile, the city of Ekurhuleni says its internal audit department has been instructed to investigate allegations made against the acting EMPD police chief, Julius Mkhwanazi. He's accused of registering Vusi Cat Matlala's vehicles as municipal cars and fitting them with blue lights back in 2003. An urgent motion to suspend him was tabled in council today in Germiston. Mkhwanazi has since been placed on special leave.
Since the allegations were placed against the Chief of Police, the first step that was taken is that our internal audit department was instructed to initiate an investigation into the allegations, just to see what's happening in that section. But two, the executive mayor has met with the chair of the audit committee, so that investigation is happening on one side. And then in terms of the precautionary suspension, this is a matter that they are deliberating in council. As it stands, internal audit is looking into the matter, and we'll hear the outcome of the council session right now as to would they agree to place him on precautionary suspension or not.
Proponents of the Government of National Unity are hoping to see it complete its full term, but the cracks are re-emerging in the 10-party pact. The Patriotic Alliance is threatening to pull out of the GNU and prepare to lose its ministerial position if its Deputy President Ekurhuleni is not reinstated in his position in the city of Johannesburg. The party has cleared Ekurhuleni after he had been found at the Santon house of murder-accused Katiso KT Molefe at the time of his arrest.
This GNU is going to last.
Once a staunch supporter of the Government of National Unity, and to some extent even referred to as the spokesperson of the GNU arrangement.
Where we differ, we go for consensus.
But with the 2026 local government elections fast approaching, the question is, will this collaborative form of governance last with its original members?
Political parties in a coalition, and indeed in the Government of National Unity that we have now, would always try their best in order to test their strength, their relevancy in government. And that is exactly what the Patriotic Alliance is doing.
In recent months, the current form of the GNU was faced with challenges related to tolerance amongst its members.
We will form a coalition with the DA. I'm telling you today, we don't have that thing of now we'll never work with the DA in next election. We will form a coalition with the DA if they're going to treat us like that, this ANC. We can't allow them to treat us like that.
Mackenzie says, if their call is not heeded by Monday, their relationship with the African National Congress is done and they will pull out of any arrangement next week. SABC News, Johannesburg.
Welcome back to Prime News. The Minister of Electricity and Energy, Dr. Ramokgopa, has announced a plan to completely eliminate load reduction across the country within the next 12 to 18 months. Minister Ramokgopa says this follows a successful turnaround on national load shedding, with the energy availability factor consistently holding above 70%, which is a significant jump from the 48% in early 2023.
Minister Ramokgopa noted the discriminatory nature of load reduction, which he says is disproportionately concentrated in poor areas, giving an impression that the poor are being penalized. In terms of location, Gauteng is the most affected area, with 158 customers impacted by load reduction. The plan aims to address 145,000 of these by March 2026. Limpopo, Mpumalanga and KZN follow closely behind Gauteng. Load reduction in the Northwest, Free State, Eastern Cape, Western Cape and Northern Cape can be eliminated within 8 to 12 months, as these provinces account for a much smaller portion of the problem.
We are going to end load reduction in the next 12 months. Once we get that cooperation, there are parts of the country where we are confident we'll get that cooperation. There are parts of the country where we know it's going to be difficult.
Ramokgopa also says government is reviewing the free basic electricity framework. Currently, only 485,000 of the 2.1 million eligible Eskom customers receive the free basic electricity benefit.
With a smart meter, you don't have to pay provide the free basic electricity through a municipality. There's a technology platform you have, At the beginning of the month, you just preload the smart meter. It's got a unique number, you preload it. And then that's how we're going to close that gap.
Ramkhopa says with plans in place for both load reduction and load shedding, the next major challenge will be to tackle excessively high electricity cost. Diabo Seto, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Members of Parliament across party lines agree that the gang violence in the Western Cape, specifically on the Cape Flats, demands immediate attention. During a debate on the killings and violence perpetrated by gangs in the region, political parties said organized criminality erodes public trust.
All political parties expressed concern about the alleged infiltration of the police, judiciary and correctional facilities by criminal networks. But emphasis was placed on the Western Cape, where MPs say gang violence has been an ongoing problem.
Cape Town is one of the most violent cities in one of the most violent countries in the world. The murder rate in South Africa is behind only Jamaica, according to data from the UN Office of Drugs and Crime.
Shortcomings in the South African Police Service were highlighted.
SABC is under-resourced and overwhelmed. We have one police officer for every 500 residents in gang-ridden areas, compared to one officer for every 220 people in leafy suburbs.
It should not be difficult to nip at the bud the proliferation of the protection fee racket, which is at the center of the present shooting spree in the Cape Flats. Intelligent-led policing can easily rid this area of this crime.
We are not winning the fight against gangsterism in the Cape Flats at the moment, and simply said, I don't think there is a very well-structured plan currently being implemented to combat the said violence.
Police Minister Firoz Kachalia says these acts of violence weakens democratic processes.
What is unfolding in parts of the Western Cape is a scourge of gang violence that no society committed to dignity and human rights can accept. Sudden and devastating shootings, targeted assassinations, recruitment of children to commit criminal acts, extortion of small businesses.
Abra Barbia, SABC News, Parliament.
We now move on to the following. Family, friends and colleagues of slain taxi official Madlanga Commission gathered at the Soweto Diepkloof Community Hall to pay their tributes during a memorial service. The National Taxi Alliance's Gauteng chairperson was killed in a hail of bullets along the Soweto Highway while on his way to a taxi meeting in the Johannesburg CBD.
The Diepkloof Community Hall was packed to capacity as people came to pay tribute to 59-year-old Madlanga Commission.
We are saddened by the untimely death of one of our own, and we urge law enforcement agencies to do their best in investigating his demise.
Meanwhile, Gauteng Roads and Transport MEC Kidiboni Dialetlabela has called on the taxi industry in the province to urgently begin discussions to put an end to taxi violence.
Let's introspect. You are losing respect on a daily basis. You need to really sit down and talk about this. And talking about this honestly, to save us as women and children in this country.
Moya will be laid to rest at the West Park Cemetery on Saturday. Calvin Lula, SABC News, Soweto in Johannesburg.
Thank you for staying with us. The Humansdorp community in the Eastern Cape is up in arms following the murder of an 18-year-old matric learner, Liolo Wakeni, at Humansdorp Secondary School on Tuesday. The residents held a protest outside the Humansdorp Magistrates Court today, where 2 of the 6 suspects appeared briefly. Wakeni sustained fatal stab wounds during a violent altercation on the school grounds.
These residents demonstrated outside the court in solidarity with the deceased and his parents.
The school did nothing. We were informed late, and then I got a message from the principal and he said one of the learners was stabbed.
For learners at this school, the environment has become hostile.
Yolo, the person, our friend, we lost him, and he was someone that would always defend a friend, and that's how we had to say goodbye to him, defending one of his friends.
They stabbed Yolo and they were chasing Ayanda also. They wanted to stab Ayanda also. And the vibe at school wasn't really nice this year. Because like, before they stabbed Yolo, they first stabbed Kamva. Kamva was badly injured and they had to rush him to the hospital, but now he's okay. Now they stabbed Yolo and I don't see no change at school.
The case of the 2 adult learners has been remanded to the 2nd of October for bail hearing. They remain in custody. The 4 minors are still in consultation with social workers. Anda Ngonji, SABC News, Humansdorp.
Workers affiliated to the National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa at Steel Trading, a company contracted to Sibanye Stillwater, have embarked on an illegal strike action at the mine's K6 shaft in Rustenburg in the northwest. Workers are demanding, amongst other things, a salary hike and have raised issues about poor working conditions.
I mean, if you're working with cutting torch, welding, you're supposed to get a flammable PPE. It's a quality PPE. So we'll not be treated quality. If you can go to their offices, you'll see this is a big company. But the treatment that they're dishing out to this employee is unfair. I mean, who's in South Africa can you work for 2 years without getting salary increase?
Sports fans, this one is for you. Springbok tight head prop Wilco Louw is happy to scrum down against Argentina this weekend in round 5 of the Rugby Championship in Durban because he believes Los Pumas are a team that still respects the scrum.
The diplomacy needed by Springbok tight head props in World Rugby these days is unprecedented. The position that sets the tone and puts the entire team on the front foot is being scrutinized very often by referees who miss key aspects of the scrum. Those decisions directly impact the work output of a player like Wilco Louw and mean that as well as winning the battle at scrum time, Louw has to remember to give the refs a clear picture as well.
The ref sees a whole different picture than what we feel inside there, and obviously he can only judge from what he sees from the outside, and hopefully the dominant side gets the reward, and I think that's the mentality of all the teams that we've played, and obviously Argentina will have the same mentality, that dominance gets rewarded, and yeah, hopefully just giving good pictures and hoping that your picture is the positive one.
This Saturday, however, Louw believes one of the Boks' biggest threats won't be dismissed because Argentina has proved in the past they are a team that wants to scrum. The Boks pride themselves on their set pieces, and while they continue to work hard on a line-out that falters at times, they'd hate to be hamstrung by something they are the benchmark for in World Rugby. Simon Burke, SABC News.
It is now time for us to check in with the mood of our southern skies, and our weather experts have all the details. Your forecast is coming up next.
Thank you very much and a very warm welcome to the weather desk. Now let's take a quick look at what to expect in our weather details for this evening as well as going into tomorrow. Scattered showers and thunder showers expected across Gauteng, going into the northwest as well as parts of Limpopo and the northern regions of the Free State. Otherwise, a band of isolated showers expected to stretch all the way from KwaZulu-Natal into Mpumalanga, parts of the Free State, Limpopo, as well as that northeastern corner of the Northern Cape province. The winds expected to pick up to about 40 kilometers per hour along the west coast, with clear conditions expected for the southwestern parts of the country. Tomorrow, the southern regions of the country can expect clear and sunny skies, partly cloudy to cloudy as you move further northwards, with scattered showers and thunder showers expected over the northern parts of the Northern Cape as well as the central and western parts of the northwest. Isolated as you move into the central regions of the country as well as parts of the northwest province, Gauteng, and the central interior of the Mpumalanga province. This evening, we do have a yellow level 2 warning for severe thunderstorms over parts of the northwest province, extending into the western regions of Gauteng. Remember, these storms are accompanied by heavy rainfall, very strong winds, as well as excessive lightning. Temperatures to remain fairly cool overnight. 2 expected in Gauteng as a minimum, 12 in Johannesburg, Musina 15, average of 13 in Richards Bay. Cape Town will have a minimum of 11 degrees now. Temperatures expected to warm up to highs of 27 in Bloemfontein, 23 in Johannesburg, Pretoria 24, quite cool in East London and Gqeberha with a maximum of 21, 23 in Cape Town, Sutherland 26, Uppington peaking at a maximum of 32. That's all from the weather desk.
And that is the final word for now. Thank you for watching. We are back with more tomorrow only on Prime News on SABC 3. Until next time, from all of us here in studio, stay ahead of the curve. Good night.